Hello, Jaguar students. It's your friendly neighborhood math teacher, Mr. Allred, and I'm so excited to bring you to Unit 5, mini lesson number 5, an intro to inequalities. Okay, so far in this unit, we've talked about expressions and equations. We have even written equation word problems, and today we're going to talk about inequalities and what they are, and graphing them on a number line. Okay. Today's mini lesson is entry number 8 in your table of contents. This table of contents just keeps getting bigger, doesn't it? It's crazy to think we've been in this unit since December 5th, but it's true. Okay. This is Unit 5, mini lesson number 5, an introduction to inequalities. So let's get started. Okay. You might have seen inequalities before, and we're going to graph them on a number line today. There's really two different things you might do when you graph them. If you use an open circle on the number line, you're going to use an open circle for a less than or a greater than inequality. So again, here's the less than symbol right here, less than symbol, and the greater than symbol. So you would only use an open circle for a less than symbol or a greater than symbol. You would use a closed circle for a less than or equal to symbol and a greater than or equal to symbol. So remember that little line underneath the inequality just adds an or equal to piece when you are reading it out loud and when you're talking about it on the number line. That little line means or equal to, okay? And of course, there's going to be some word problems. So there's going to be a few phrases that we're going to need to understand and use for when we're graphing inequalities on a number line. If you see words less than or fewer, those words probably mean the less than symbol. And of course, there might be other words or phrases that we might use. This is not an exhaustive list by any means, but it's a good start. If you see the words greater than or more, okay, that's telling you, hey, we're going to use a greater than symbol here for this word problem, okay? The or equal to ones get a little confusing because if you think about it, if I say less than or equal to, that means less than or equal to. But if I say at most, that also means less than or equal to. I'm saying, hey, there were at most 200 people in the park today when I was walking around the park. That means, at most means, that there were no more than 200 people in the park. So that's definitely another one we might use too. We might say at more than, or no more than when we're looking at that. So let's add that in there. No more than 200 people in the park. Less than or equal to, at most, no more than. All those different phrases are going to mean less than or equal to. Okay, about the opposite here for greater than or equal to. If you see greater than or equal to, or at least, or I guess no less than, let's put that in there too. And that would tell you, hey, we're going to use a greater than or equal to sign for this inequality. Greater than or equal to, at least, no less than. There were at least 100 people there. That means there weren't less than 100 people there. There could have been 100 people, but there certainly could have been more. There were at least 100 people at the concert. Okay? So those are, of course, just a few words and phrases that we might see in word problems that would help us to write inequalities for those word problems. Okay? I'm also, of course, going to ask you to graph inequalities on a number line. So I'll do a couple examples here for you, numbers 1 and 4 right here. And then you're going to do some on your own and with me in stations later. If I wanted to graph x is less than 4, remember if it's just less than, we need an open circle, and less than means all the numbers less than 4 are going to get graphed, so we draw an arrow to the left. Less than means left, so we are going to draw an arrow to the left, an open circle, and that says that x is less than 4. If I wanted to say that y is greater than or equal to 6, remember for equal to's, I need a closed circle. So I would draw a closed circle at 6. And then since it's greater than or equal to, I'm going to draw my arrow to the right. I'm going to shade everything to the right. The word right starts with an R, and the word greater than has an R in it. That usually helps me to remember. Okay, but we're going to draw an arrow towards all the bigger numbers. So a closed circle with an arrow towards the bigger numbers. For numbers 5 through 12, I'm asking you to actually write an inequality. I'll show you what I mean for a couple examples, and then, of course, you'll do some on your own and in stations later. If I said there are fewer than 25 students in the class, Fewer means less than. So I'm going to write an inequality that says S is less than 25. That works pretty good, right? That's right. It sure does. Number 8, I'm looking at number 8 now, that says no more than 50 people were on the bus. No more than 50 people were on the bus. No more than means less than or equal to. There were not more than 50 people on the bus. There were less than or equal to 50 people on the bus. So P is less than or equal to 50. For number 11, right here, I've got a graph inequality. I'm going to write an inequality for it. There's an open circle at 1 with an arrow shaded to the right that x is greater than 1. Awesome job so far. The last thing Edpuzzle is going to ask you to do is it's going to ask you to read number 7, and you're going to try to write an inequality for number 7. It's going to give you some multiple choice options, and I'll show you if you're right or not when we're done. It says there were at least 15 dogs in the park. Awesome job there on that one. You should have said there are at least 15 dogs in the park. D is greater than or equal to 15. There were definitely 15 dogs in the park. There could have been more. So D is greater than or equal to 15 right there for number 7. Thank you so much for paying attention to these notes today. I really appreciate it. We'll talk more in stations today about graphing inequalities and reading phrases and writing them. And then next week, we'll actually start to solve some inequalities, much like we solved equations earlier in the unit. Remember, to make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. And of all the students I've ever taught, you are one of them. Thanks and have a great day.